up guys, welcome back to Life on Earth. Hope you guys are doing well today. I'm really excited about today's video because yesterday MB&F released another one of their horological machines, and this one is extremely unique. It's the Horological Machine number 10, and I was so excited yesterday. I posted so much on social media about this piece because I think it's so cool. It's very polarizing, I will say that up front, but it's inspired by the Bulldog. It's called the HM10 Bulldog. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you guys the release video and then give you some information about the watch and then give you my opinions on it. So this is kind of a continuation on the MB&F videos that we make, where we discuss all the pieces. If you don't know, MB&F is one of our favorite watch companies, which is why we like to cover all of their releases, but also the watches that they've produced in the past. So that's going to be the topic for today. But before we get into this, and I say it every single time, be sure to smash that like button for us so everyone can see this really awesome piece, as well as hit the subscribe button if you like these types of videos, and check out our playlist where we go over some of the other MB&F watches too. So let's just dive right into the video. This was released by MB&F for the launch of this watch. It was released on YouTube and Instagram and all their social media, so let's check it out.
I've always been a dog person, so finally I've done a dog horological machine. 2015, I'm driving from the hotel to the airport in Tokyo, completely jet-lagged, dozing away, and suddenly, boom, I see this piece, exactly as it is today.
Wow.
So this is Bulldog, Horological Machine number 10. It's got 4 legs, a big head,
Wow. That side
2
profile is
eyes,
so cool.
the brain, and more importantly, why is it called Bulldog? Because it's got jaws. I've always found it important to interact with your timepiece. In this case, when you wind it up, when you're giving it life, you can see those jaws open up. When you wear your Bulldog, it's alive. You can see the heart ticking, you can see the brain ticking, you can see the jaws. Bulldog lives. Forget the dog, beware of the owner.
I have nothing but admiration for Max Büsser with the company that he's created. It's so cool. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that video. Just to give you, if you didn't really catch it or if you haven't seen some of the press releases, this is an extremely unique looking watch. It's supposed to look like a Bulldog, as Max referred to. The case comes in either titanium or in red gold. Those are the 2 options that have been released during this initial releasing of this HM10. If you look at the watch, you can see that there are lugs that, if you look at from a side profile in that video, you saw that they almost look like legs. Those are actually the lugs of the watch, which I think is really unique. It's got a very typical for, I believe it's the HM3. You can see the aluminum time displays, or the eyes of the Bulldog, and then you can see the balance wheel, which is on top, which acts as the brain of the Bulldog. So you've got the eyes, which are telling the time, and then you've got that spinning balance wheel, which is like the brain, as Max Büsser describes it. Then you can see towards the back of the watch, you can see those studs that kind of look like the collar of a dog. Those are the crowns of the watch. One winds the watch and gives it life, and then the other you're able to set the time with. And then if you look at the front of the watch, which I think is the most unique part about this watch, you can see jaws of the watch, and as you wind the watch up, the jaws open, and that is essentially a indication for your power reserve. If you didn't see our video, I believe it was released last week, where we discussed power reserve, I did mention MB&F as one of the ways, as a way that you can display power reserve. In their Legacy Machine number 1, they have this Marine Sextant inspired power reserve indicator that actually goes up and down. This is a completely new way to show the power reserve left in your watch, which I think is just so cool. So they open and close as the power reserve increases and decreases. And then on the back, if you flip it over, you can see that a quote that says, "Forget dog, beware of the owner." And I think I read a little bit about this. Max really wanted to emphasize the fact that dogs are really animals of service, and they really love their owners. You should really be aware of the people who are actually owning them. So a nice little sentiment there. Going a little bit deeper into the specifications of the watch. The watch actually measures 54 millimeters in length, so again, it's quite a large watch. We did cover the HM7 recently, which was the Aquapod, and that is actually 54 millimeters in diameter as well. This one is 54 millimeters in length. It's a manual wind watch made up of 301 components. It's got an in-house movement, and one of the most noticeable things is that 14 millimeter balance wheel that acts as the brain of the watch, the brain of the dog, that spins on the top of the front of the watch. The hours will be indicated on the left dome inside on the top of the watch, and then the minutes on the right. And as I mentioned, the power reserve is at the jaws of the watch. It's probably not an accurate way of figuring out how much power reserve is left. You can't really calculate how wide open a jaw is and compared to how much power reserve is left. But that's not the point of MB&Fs. They are horological pieces of art. They're supposed to be cool looking and very, very unique. As always, Max Büsser obviously came up with the initial idea of the watch, but Eric Giroux, who is extremely influential within the MB&F family, was instrumental in the design of the watch and in bringing it to Max Büsser's idea to life. So another hat tip to Eric Giroux for his enormous contribution to all the watches that Max has kind of dreamt up and brought to life. So just moving into my watch, into my thoughts, excuse me. I guess I'm dreaming of having a HM10. Into my thoughts, this is kind of goes without saying, but I think this is an extremely polarizing watch. Yesterday, we actually had a poll on my Instagram where I asked our followers what they thought about this watch, and it was actually a lot closer to 50-50 between those who liked the design of the watch and those who did not like the design of the watch and thought it was not something they would be interested in. So I think it's extremely polarizing. I think it's polarizing because it's so unique, and you're not going to see a watch like this, and it perhaps isn't actually supposed to be a watch, which I think is something that's very normal with Max Büsser's creations. I think this is really a testament to actually truly having fun with watchmaking and truly having fun creating watches, and I think that's what Max kind of does with all of his pieces. He doesn't really care what other people think about the designs. Yes, it helps that they're sold and allows him to continue with his mission as a watchmaker, a legend within the watch world, but I think he is truly having fun with the way in which he's designing these pieces. I like the fact that this is an extremely innovative piece, both in design, when you think about the way the lugs are shaped, with the way in which the movement is constructed to have the time on the front of the watch with the balance wheel above it, but it's also innovative, like I said, from a design perspective, making a watch that looks similar to a dog, but also it's extremely innovative when it comes to the power reserve indicator, which I think is an extremely cool feature about this watch. And the fact that you can tell a power reserve, you can make a power reserve indicator as the jaws of the watch, I think is so cool. I personally really love it. I basically love everything that comes out of MB&F, but I can see how some wouldn't like it, and it perhaps strays from, if you want to call it traditional watchmaking, but who really cares, because it's about what you like, not how you conform to the norms of watchmaking. So those are my thoughts on this. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out on MB&F's website, and I'll be sure to make sure I put up a bunch of pictures so you can see this watch while I'm talking over it. If you haven't seen some of our other videos where we discuss the MB&F's watches, I believe our last video was the HM7, so check that out. It's a very cool watch named the Aquapod. It's a very unique piece. Also, if you haven't done it, and I said in the beginning of the video, be sure to smash that like button for us. Smash it for the dogs. If you have a pet dog, let me know. Smash that like button for the fact that this really cool Bulldog HM10 came to life. Also, right near that like button is the subscribe button, so be sure to subscribe to our channel if you like these types of videos, and also check out our channel for some other videos. We create videos about just about anything when it comes to watches, so be sure to check us out. Also, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, most recently TikTok. We're having a lot of fun over there. It's a new platform for us, and it's very unique. It's not like any of the other types of platforms that we're on, so be sure to check us out there. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.